automation which is capable of creating videos from the topics that will be given in a sheet in our video, in our audio, using the HeyGen avatar. Since, as I have previously mentioned about the prerequisite, so I want you, in case you're building this project in this session only, so you need to have like a 2 to 3 minute video of yourself where you are speaking about anything or maybe just talking casually. It need not necessary to have all set of things. So I'll be that only. So am assuming that you all have that specific video. So the very first thing that we'll be beginning with the automation is to set up the HeyGen avatar. So what HeyGen is a really great tool through which we can create our avatar. So an avatar is basically a duplicate, a digital copy of ours through which we can just give it text prompt that I want you to speak this. So it speaks the same in our language, in our audio and in our video. So just okay. So the very first thing that we need to do is to get a HeyGen account. So in HeyGen, we will be creating an account. So you can start with Google. So in the free account, you get 3 videos a day, and it has like 10 credits for the free account. So if you're learning, you can just get started with the free account. And maybe if you're someone who's looking forward to do this on a mass scale for corporates or some other projects, so you can move forward for the creator plan as well. So for this, we will be using the standard plan. So it has been mentioned that videos, we can create videos up to 3 minutes, 3 videos per month, and you can compare all the plans which has been there. But for the time being, we will be using the free plan only. Just fill the necessary questionnaire which has been there. Okay. So this is the very first screen that you will be seeing, be able to see once you log into this platform. The second thing that we will be doing is to create an avatar of ourselves. So we'll create an avatar. So you need to click on this avatar and a digital twin of yourself. So it's just giving a description. How do we exactly build this? So we'll just click on get started, and then we need to upload a video of ourselves. So as I've previously instructed that you guys need to record a 2 to 10 minutes videos of yourself. So in case you are having a video of let's say 10 minutes, then it will be able to create a better avatar with a better voices. So I have already created a 1 minute, 2 minute and 14-second videos of myself. So it's a 2 minute 5 second video where I've explained and talk some random stuff which is not even relevant. You can just speak up about any topic, anything. Need not necessary you're talking about any specific top topic or any specific theme. It can be anything. So once you upload this specific video, it will create an avatar of ours. So okay, this is my name, and uh, it is asking for the consent that I am giving the consent to HeyGen to use my audio video to create videos in my to for the production purpose. So I'll just turn on my camera and microphone and just complete the verification purpose. So I'll also get a code which I can't show at the moment in the session. So I'll be pausing the sharing at the for this specific step, but it is not a really difficult step. You can easily do that. You just need to give the consent to agent to use your avatar. Okay, so my consent is validated. So I did nothing much in this specific step. I just gave a video recording of me that I'm giving consent to agent to use an avatar of myself, and that's it. Now this is the final review which has been there made by the agent, and it has given also the avatar, the feedback at the different point which can be improved. So maybe you guys can keep these into consideration since I was just making this for a tutorial. I didn't paid much attention to the different parts and the guidelines which has been mentioned by the HeyGen. So we are just clicking on the submit button. Now this will take some time. Meanwhile, we can get started. Okay, so we have our avatar. Let me call it. Let me give it my name. Okay, so this specific step will take some time. So it is creating my avatar. Meanwhile, we can get started with the uh, automation purpose, or in case you have any doubts, I can take that up. I mean, so far, in case any of you have any doubts, like any point which was not clear, how I did some sort of things, just let me know. I'll take that up. You can even turn on your microphone in case you're stuck at any point. I'll be happy to take sharing and personal things. Won't we get any issue? No, you won't get any issue because you are giving your video just to create an avatar of yourself. Even if something went wrong, then HeyGen will get into trouble. That is some other part. Okay. Meanwhile, in case we'll be building this from very scratch, like we will be building all sort of steps which is required to build this automation. So I'll try to create a new project only so that you guys can follow along. So let's create a blank project. So in case of any new project, the very first thing that we do is start a trigger. So a trigger is nothing but when exactly a workflow needs to be executed depends upon the trigger. So in our case, let's say it's for the timing, let's keep it a manual trigger. So every single time when we click on this button, this entire workflow will be executed. So let's add a sheet. So we are adding sheet where we will have the list of topics around which we need our video. So we'll click on rows and let's let's create a fresh sheet. The serial number, topic, script, skip the script. Okay, so you guys can fill the topics separately, or maybe you can use other triggers, other ways to get the topics for this specific session. I am using this specific sheet, so you guys can also create a similar format. Once it is done, let's instead of this, so you'll be able to add your credentials if you're logging into the platform for the very first time. So you need to click on add new credentials. Then there will be sign in with Google since I'm using my local host at the moment. So I have used my client ID and client secret to log into the platform. But you will be able to see a direct sign in button if you're on cloud and you're using it for the very first time on cloud. So that AN10 gets the access to your Excel sheet, the Google Sheets, and gets the relevant information. So it was on spreadsheet, sheet one, I guess it is the one. Okay, so we got the list where we have the topics. Now the second thing that we will be doing, so we have the list of the topics that we need. Now the next step is to get an AI agent who will be working for us to create the script. So we can add an AI agent. Now here there are 2 to 3 aspects which I'll be explaining once again. So an AI agent has 3 different parts: a chat model, a memory, a tool, and if you turn on these 2 options, they require a specific output and fallback memory, then you will be able to see 2 more options. So I'll try to explain all these in brief. So, and chat model is the brain which we will be using in order to create the script. So you can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, you can use Grok and any tool. In case you don't know how to get the Google Gemini API key, then you can refer to this specific website, which is Google Studio, AI Studio. And here you will be able to get the API keys. Click on Get API Key, create API key. You can create any project, or you can choose any project or create a project and get a new API key. Since I already have my API keys, I'll be skipping this step for the moment. But if you want to create a API key, you can get the API key from here. Once we have the API key, the so this is the brain, which is will be acting as the brain in order to draft all the content for us. Then second, we have a fallback model. So a fallback model is basically, let's say, in case our Gemini chat model is not working at the moment, and due to some uncertain reasons, and we want some other chat model to work in absence of Google Gemini. Let's say if it fails, we want GPT to take over, or let's say some other chat model to take over. So maybe we can use Grok. So Grok is an open source chat model that can be used. So you can get its API key by just searching Grok API key. You will be able to find it very easily. Then the third thing is the memory. So an AI agent gives the best possible result when it has a specific memory. So whenever you ask GPT about anything, let's say, what's your name or maybe anything about yourself, it know nothing until unless you tell GPT that your name is this, you're from this specific college and so on and so forth stuff. Similarly, whenever we interact with any AI agent, it do not have any memory. So in case you have a knowledge base, or maybe if you want that previous nods, the previous conversation that it had with the GPT stays in the mind, so you can add a simple memory. In our case, we don't this AI agent to memorize the previous prompts, the previous output. For that reason, we will be ignoring this at the moment. Next, we have the tool. So you guys can use tool for the multiple purpose, which helps this AI agent to work on this specific part. For example, maybe you can, for example, we are working on a content creation automation. So you can compile all the contents which is available on the internet and use that as a reference. Like this is the reference which you need to take into consideration when you're working on the content. So maybe you can add a knowledge base, or maybe some supporting documents, some supporting tools which helps this AI agent to draft the caption. So for this specific, since we are using Gemini, I'm ignoring that part at the moment. Next, we have the output parser. So output parser helps us, for example, I tell you, so there, whenever you get an answer or write it in your examination, so there are like different parts. So you write an introduction, then you write a body, then you write a conclusion. Similarly, since we are working on an AI automation agent, we need different parts. Like we need a hook. The second thing that we might need is a body, then a conclusion. So for that, we want GPT to give us the format in the in the very same way that I need an introduction, I need a hook, I need a body, I need something, something, something. So you can use this output parser in order to get the result in the very same format as per the needs that you're looking forward to. So these are the multiple components of an AI agent. In case you have any doubts, just let me know. I'll take that up. And I am allowing on apps for some time. Okay, so you'll be able to use a microphone as well in case you have any doubts. I'll be able to. Um, okay. Do you have any paid version it is the free. I have hosted this tool on my PC locally. It will hardly take 15 minutes to host locally on your PC. Are there any low code, no code I can design my own API? My dependence on API as it has limited free credits. I mean, again, if we talk about the for the scraping purpose, API is still the best in terms of the results that we are able to get. Secondly, there are some tools, for example, as I mentioned, that we have these agents, we have multiple components. So there are some tools which can be used in order to replace this. So I am currently exploring this tool. So it is still in GTWYAI. So it is still in beta and they're testing it out. So I'm helping them as well, testing this out and recommending them new stuff. So it has RAG, it has MCP, it has AI agents which can be used. So that's about this tool at the moment. So I have been using this in order to replace this specific part, but for this session, I don't want to complicate things. So I'm using an AI agent. How locally send me video? Okay, I'll explain you about the same. How you run it locally on your PC? What thing required to run a I have like 8 GB of RAM and uh, 512 GB of SSD, and it was sufficient to run locally on your PC. But if I talk about, I have like 512 GB SSD, and it take around 90% of my memory. So that's the case. If I show at the moment, so my 89% of the 92% of the memory is being used, and Docker takes a big portion of the same. Yes. Whatsoever that I've discussed at this specific part, the automation where how do we draft up, what are the different components of AI agent? In case you have any doubts, just let me know. The prompts, okay, so I have a prompt in my mind. I use that prompt. I give context to GPT that it is something that I'm trying to build. I give a brief prompt to GPT and ask GPT to give me a detailed prompt such that I get the output in the best possible way. So this is the approach that I am following, and maybe you can use Claude. Claude gives pretty good prompts as well.
Vipin, can you just share us how to do step by step? It was very
Uh,
quick for us.
okay, I'll give you a brief. Okay. So the very first thing that we do is we create an trigger. The
Hmm.
moment we have a trigger, the second step that we have done is we have added a sheet
How
which
to
has a
add that?
list of you need to click on plus and search for sheets. So you'll be able to get the sheet. In case you have hosted locally in your PC, then there is a different set of steps which needs to be followed. that I have shared in my, and the guide has been shared in the group itself. You can refer to that. In case you're using the cloud version, then you will be able to see an add credentials button over here, and you will be able to log into your Google account using the zero auth authentication of Google itself. Then this Anatan will have access to your uh, Google the Sheet account. So if I have one more account as well, I can explain with that. I hope it is still okay. It's not any other account that I might have used. Okay, I have actually exhausted all of my accounts. So you'll be able to get access to your account via this. So you need to click on create new credentials and add your Gmail account. So you'll be able to get the access so that this NATN has access to this specific sheet such that this input can be act as an the output of this can be act as an input for this AI agent. I guess we can move forward. The row in a sheet, like how is it giving the specific inputs? Okay, so the moment I have added this sheet, so I have selected this document and have click on execute step. So it has fetched the necessary details from here. So it's like serial number and the topics. Now I have the topic names over here and the empty cells to be as well. Now this specific thing can be act as an input over here. Not here. I'm mistakenly.
I added the AI agent is in the Google Sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I have to select the AI agent, na? And what
Right,
to do
right.
inside that? Can you just explain?
Yep, sure, yep, sure. Just give me 1 second.
Mhm.
I'll give you more brief about the same. So this is the AI agent that we need to add. And here, I guess I've explained these three tools which is there. The chat model, the brain, memory, the context tool which helps this AI agent to make necessary decisions. And then we have a required specific output format. So it helps the GPT gives us the and whatever tools we are using to give us the output in the specific format that we are looking forward to, like an introduction, a conclusion, a body, and so on and so forth. And a fallback memory is being used when, let's say, this is specific, the main chat model fails. So in that case, we use a fallback memory. So it is not necessary, but just for the explanation purpose, I'm using this. Okay. Now let's add a output parser and the structured output parser. So it just gives us the output in the format that we're looking forward to. That's it. There is nothing much. Now in the inside the AI agent, there are 2 to 3 things. Number one, the let's add a user prompt as well. System prompt, my bad. So there are 2 to 3 things. Number one, we have a system prompt. Then we have a user message or the user prompt. So a system prompt is basically a set of prompt which is constant, which is among all the prompts. For example, if you're training or let's say you're building a customer support agent, so you give it an instruction that you need to be friendly, you can't abuse, you can't be you need to be friendly, you should be helpful and understand the consumer grievances and so on and so forth. So there is a system prompt which we feed in an AI agent to make them understand कि तेरे को at the end यही करना है, you are supposed to do this. And a user prompt is something which differs every single time. Maybe the order ID, order number, the topic that we will be using this in this specific session. So this is the user prompt. So I have already created this specific sheet which has all the necessary API key access and the necessary um, prompts. So I'll be sharing this with you in this session only so that you guys can follow along.
Yes, thank you.
Should we enable require? Yes, you should, ideally. Because let's say in case we are working on a video, so we need a hook, then we need some specific parts. So the next step is we need to copy the system prompt. You are an expert video script writer, so on and so forth, where we have given it all the necessary instruction which is required. So you need to click on the system message and paste it over here. Now, if I tell you about the difference, so the moment I click on execute without an output parser, enable, okay, because I have not yet configured this structured output. This is facing this issue. And we need to execute this once at the moment because we have three topics, I guess. So it is using Gemini keys in order to generate the script for us. Okay, so we have an entire script. What if it's a silent power? So it is a bit difficult for us to segregate the different parts like the hook, the body, and so on and so forth stuff part. But if we add the structured output parser, oh, I have turned it off. Okay. And in this output, since we are working on a content creation automation, so I have also given the output parser. So we need a hook, a context, body, and a conclusion. So you need to copy this and paste it over here. Now, if I tell you about the result that we have got, could be different. Since we have used an output parser, so we have given the segregation, like this is the hook part, this is the context part, and this is the body part, and this is the conclusion. So summing up things once again so that you guys can follow up as well. Firstly, we have used an system prompt, which is like the constant stuff where the primary job of this agent is to write script for us. That's it. And script for which specific topic, which has been mentioned by the user over here, which is the user prompt. And then we have used Gemini in order to get the output, the memory, I mean the main chat model for the brain purpose, and a fallback model of Grok. So in case Gemini fails, Gemini do not work in, let's say, any case scenario, then we have used Grok. Then we have output parser, which is giving us the output in the required format that we need. Let's say we have a hook, we need a context, body, and conclusion. So far, in case any of you are stuck at any point or have any doubts, just let me know. Or maybe if you're stuck at any point, I'll help you out. Okay, so like, could you please like give me a more description? So maybe by some things again. So you need to just copy, drag and drop this specific topic and the system prompt for the from the Google Doc which has been shared. Once we are done with that, you're supposed to copy the structured output which has been mentioned again. I guess you might facing issue in configuring this Gemini keys. So you can get this from this specific link, which is Google AI Studio. Create new API key, name it like init and integration. So I'm doing this once again so that you guys understand. Maybe even create a new project, name it anything. Let's say AI agent. Yeah. Click on create key. So we got a new API key. Just copy this API key. Click on add new credential and just paste the credential that you have just copied from there. That's it. You'll be able to configure this as well. So primarily, in case this is the issue, can you share your this recording? Okay, I'll be sharing that. Adding system prompt. Okay, so in order to add the system prompt, you need to click on this add option and then you will be able to get the system prompt option. There is like add option. Click on this add option so you'll be able to get the system prompt option. I hope this much is pretty clear. Car, thanks. Okay, cool. So the output that we have, let's give it a read. Have you ever paused about invincible powers behind almost everything to online from streaming? So there is one more thing. In case you are doing this for just because we're doing I'm doing this in order to explain you about the content creation automation. There is one more thing that you may add in this specific part. Let's say if you're not and not comfortable, or let's say you're not satisfied with the result which has been given by this AI agent, you can add one more AI agent which will act as the AI reviewer of the content. So you can add one more AI agent with using the same step and ask that specific AI agent to review the content which has been given by this specific AI agent. Or you, in case you're doing this for like a production, mass production purpose or like a paid project, where so you guys can add a memory or maybe you can add a tool, and in this specific tool section you can add the references, let's say all of your previous videos, or let's say all of your previous scripts which has been there, and that will be act as a reference for this specific AI agent, and it will try to give you the output in the best possible way. But for this specific session, we'll be primarily focusing on the structure and workflow part. In case you want to experiment more, you guys can think of that as well. I hope this much is pretty clear. And meanwhile, our avatar is ready as well, hopefully. Okay, so our AI avatar is ready. So I'm not sure whether it was clear to you or not. Whether can somebody confirm whether the audio of that video was audible or not? No. Okay. So basically, it said something, "Hey, Vipin Kumar, your AI avatar," and so on and so forth, and it it speaks all the stuff in the different languages. It is able to speak in different languages in your avatar with lip sync. So that's the case. Although the language translation is not possible at the moment, and it has given more brief. For the time being, we will be uh, canceling this at the moment. Now, the second thing that we need to do, once I hope you have this HeyGen avatar, you have made this HeyGen avatar as well, which we started in the initial part. Now, there we have an avatar ID, and with this AI avatar, we also have our voice ID. So, our voice ID and avatar ID can be used in order to create video in our avatar and video audio. So in order, the next thing that we need to do is to use our AI avatar to create content. So we will be using its API key. So API helps the different tools to communicate with each other. So we will be using our AI. So what usually happens when you're working on with agent, you give it a text prompt in your avatar that this avatar is supposed to say these things. So we are automating that process because we have this content which needs to be communicated to this AI avatar in this specific node. So we will be using its API in order to connect this specific output with the HeyGen avatar. So for the time being, I'm pinning this data in order to reduce time for this specific session. In order, okay. So we need to click on plus and search for HTTP request. Okay, we have our HTTP request over here. Now go to the same platform. Go to settings. There we have subscription and API. Click on HeyGen API over here. Click on activate. Excuse me. So we have our API key over here. So we need to copy this API key. And I would say you should paste it over somewhere so that you can use it further as well. Because we will be using this API key 2 to 3 times in this 2 times in this session. Okay. Now I have already provided you the uh, necessary curl command that we will be using in this session to in order to generate the video avatar, we need to copy this curl command. So how I got this curl command? So I got this from their documentation. So they have their API instruction. So if you go to their website, so at our video with HeyGen, so there are tons of curl command over on their website, and I have just given the required avatar curl command, which is required for this specific part of the session. So it is we need to copy this, go to the workflow, click on import curl command over here, paste the curl command. Okay, now it has fetched most of the details. We need to get the API key. So here we have the API key. It over here, generate. Okay. Then we have the avatar ID. So we can get the avatar ID from HeyGen. Go to HeyGen, click on avatar, click on these 3 dots, click on copy avatar ID. Paste the avatar ID so that it can understand which exactly avatar to refer to. Then we have the voice ID, so we can get the voice ID as well from HeyGen only. in case you have multiple voice ID or you have multiple avatars, so you can use the other curl command from their documentation itself. But for this session, I'll be just focusing on one part and then enter your script. So we have our hook part, then we will give it the context, then a body, and then a conclusion. And the speed, I'm keeping it at 1.1 only. It has, I guess, all the necessary, has the just has my API key, it has the JSON output. Okay, let's click on execute step and we'll try to figure out okay, so it has been executed. So I'll try to sum this part again because it was a bit complicated for new users. So so you need to go to this document, copy this specific curl command, go to this specific import curl command, import the curl command, and then most of the fields will be automatically um, filled. And then you need to copy the avatar ID from HeyGen over here. You'll get the avatar ID. Then you need to get the voice ID and then just replace it from whatever things which has been mentioned. Voice ID, the avatar ID, and the script from the previous node by drag and drop. So far, in case any of you have any doubts, just let me know, I'll help you out. Any of you who were able to create an AI avatar of yourself? You can just write it in the chat box in case you were clear with this specific step, because it is one of the very crucial step. Okay, I'll try to just sum it up once again so that in case any of you was stuck. So you need to click on import, get this curl command from here, which has been mentioned. Once you're done with that, you need to just replace the API key, the input text, the avatar ID, the voice ID. Then we get a video ID. So that's it about this specific step. I'll be sharing the recording so that you guys can follow along later on. Next, we will be adding a wait node. Why are we adding this wait node? Because once we started generating this AI video of ourselves, it this agent will take some time in order to get our video. So the moment we use we'll be using HeyGen API for two purposes. Number one, to generate the video. And once the video has been generated, we need another HTTP request in order to get that video. The 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 time which has been required for HeyGen to create the video avatar, the video in the avatar would vary from 30 seconds or maybe up to 1 minute, depending upon different, depending on the script or the length of the video. So for the time being, I'm just writing it like 30 seconds. So this is the scenario where we will be waiting for 30 seconds and then we will try to get the result. So we'll be using another HTTP request. And this HTTP request will be used in order to get the video in case the video has been created. So we will be using this curl command. Click on curl command, paste the curl command, click on import. Let's spin this for the time being. Okay, now we need a video ID as an input. And I guess it has not created an header account header which was mentioned over here. So we need to add our API key so that it again. So we need to copy this X API key and paste the API key which is here. Now this node will get our video from HeyGen. So we got the thumbnail URL and a video URL. So since I was explaining things before I add this node, so it has given us the result in the format that we need. But there can be possibilities that even after waiting 30 seconds, we didn't got the result. So we will be using continue using error. So and not just not one. Okay, so there is other way as well for the pooling purpose. So we can use that. For example, in our case, we have the status as the success that this the status has completed, that this specific video has been created, but there can be possibility that it is still processing. So we will add an if not. The purpose of this if not is to understand whether the video has been created or not. So let's say the status is complete, then this is true. And in case it is not yet processed, then it will be comes under the false one. So we'll try to wait again and get the difference again and again until unless we get a true. So I'll try to some things again from this specific node to this one. Firstly, we have agent using its API to create the video using its API. And we have given it the script, the video ID, the avatar ID, and the voice ID. Once we have given this um, request to HeyGen, it will start creating our video. Now, HeyGen will take some time in order to create our video. So we will be adding a wait node so that we are waiting HeyGen to give us the output since there can be two situation now. After waiting for 30 seconds, we got the video, or there is an probability that you haven't got the video in case the length is on a higher end. So we add a if not in order to understand whether the video is completed or not. So if in case it is true, let's say if the video is completed, so it will give us the output in the edit set not. So we need the video ID. And in case it is not, then it will wait again, get the video until unless the status is completed. I hope this much is pretty clear. In case any of you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, I'm assuming that I can move forward. So even after waiting, we got this video URL. So this is the output that we have got from HeyGen, 100% AI. So if we click on this button, this link, so this is the video that this HeyGen has created. So this is the AI video that it has made in my audio, in my video. So you guys can make this project simultaneously the way I have shown. Additionally, if I talk about so the video quality which has been offered by HN is pretty good. However, the audio quality, the audio um, copy is not that great. So in case you're working on this, so maybe you can use 11 Labs API. So 11 Labs API has better integration and the audio quality and the audio copy is pretty good. But for HeyGen, at least in my case, since I guess I have given only 2 minutes video, for that reason, the output that it has gave is not that great. However, the video is pretty good. I know the 2 megapixel camera quality that I have just used. So I'll also give you this specific output so that you guys can also judge like what is the level of output that this AI agent is able to give to us. I'm not sure. Okay, so I have given the file. Just let me, you can take like a few minutes to go through the video and let me know how the quality of that video is. And how long the video is, by the way. So it's a 53-second video which is created by this agent. In case the link is not accessible, just let me know. Taki. Okay, so I guess it is because of the camera quality. I have tried this with my phone previously and it was pretty good. Videos like real shooting video. Yep. I guess I have used a different see for this specific part of the session. So even it's like it has a higher smoothness and maybe the issue is with the scene because I tried previously with other better camera qualities. Both levels was for Asian. Can we integrate? Yep, you can do that. Can we remove the HeyGen background? That thumbnail, I mean that watermark cannot be removed. It can be removed in the creator plan. So in the free plan, you do not have that option, but you can use other tools in order to remove that watermark. Is this unlimited? You can refer to the pricing plan of HeyGen, which has been mentioned. So for a free account, you can use you can make 3 videos up to 3 minutes in a month. And for professional and the creators plan, they have some other they have some limitations which has been mentioned on their website that you can refer to. We can make Mark's videos. As I mentioned, we can make Mark's 3 minute video of or 3 videos. Like how Varun Maya is doing all. They're spending money too. They have ton of money to spend money. They're able to generate the great releases on their return on they have great return on investment from their content. They are just using HeyGen only at the end of the day. There is one more tool that I have not yet explored. How do you get that get video command? Uh, it is mentioned in that Google Doc that I have shared. What exactly 11 Labs is? So, for example, for avatar purpose, we are using this HeyGen where it creates an AI avatar of ourselves. 11 Labs have a ton of different voice IDs over there, multiple voice model over there. Even you can create your own voice model on 11 Labs. So they have their specialization in that voice uh, models. Share recording we will do once again on these. Yep, sure, I'll be sharing that. यार तो ये I got 8 GB RAM. I don't have an extra 1 GB storage. Can it work properly if I don't have an extra 5 GB capacity? Even though I have like 512 GB SSD only, I don't have an ex additional uh this is just my own SSD which is I'm using. Avatar ID, these are all seeded. I don't get the point, Arindam. You can get that from here. You can click on these 3 dots, then you have a copy avatar ID and use that. So isn't it hard to sync if we are doing audio from 11 Labs and video from HeyGen? Uh, no, it is not that complicated. It can be used. So we'll be using, even though on this is specific. Yep. So instead, here we can use multiple integration. So we can integrate a third party voice from here and get the, so we have the 11 Labs LMNT. So we can use that API key in order to connect that 11 Labs API with the agent. So it's not that complicated. Where we will get the recording, I'll try to share the recording at the earliest and share the link in the group itself. I guess we can stop the recording of the session since I guess I've covered every single thing about this project.